Just as we head into August, there's some really exciting news coming out of Virgin Voyages at the moment, including some brand new destinations and a massive change to the way that dining works on board the ships. If this is your first time here, my name is David from VV Insider, and this is our regular Virgin Voyages Insider update, where we tell you about all the news and the changes that you're going to need to know before you head on board. As well as these regular updates, we also upload tons of really helpful videos about sailing with Virgin Voyages. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a perfect time to do that so you don't miss a video. So in today's update, we've got some news for those of you on Alaska sailings out of Seattle, which you'll definitely need to know about. There's also the announcement of a very special voyage next year for any fans of true crime podcasts. Then I'm going to tell you about some huge news that's going on with dining on board. And this is especially interesting news if you find it difficult to book restaurant reservations before you sail. We've also got a glimpse of exactly where Valiant Lady is heading when she leaves Barcelona on her mystery tour in 2028. So it looks like there's a huge amount of changes coming up in August, so let's jump right in. So firstly, some big news for those of you that are heading on board Brilliant Lady on her Alaska sailings out of Seattle, where you'll need to make sure your plans are shifted an hour earlier, and that is for both embarkation and for disembarkation. The new timings took effect just a few short days ago, so on July 30th, every single sailing that's going out of Seattle this year will be headed back an hour. That means the departure time, instead of being the traditional 5 p.m, will now be 4 p.m. So they're aiming to get sailors all aboard by 3:30 in the afternoon. This may mean that your personal port arrival time has been moved earlier, so do make sure that you check your confirmation for updates. So for some people, this might mean an extra hour on board the ship on embarkation day, which is great, but it does mean that disembarkation is an hour earlier as well. This means if you're heading off with express checkout, where you bring your luggage with you, you'll be able to do that from 6:30 a.m. till 8:30 a.m. Or if you're getting your luggage delivered to the terminal, expect to have your cases there around 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. The reason for this change is because of some seasonal tidal changes, which would make it more difficult for Brilliant Lady to pass through the Seymour Narrows if it was any later. As ever, if you're booked on one of these voyages, make sure you check your emails for more news. Now, some great news for those of you that are new to the Virgin Voyages ships. Finding your way around the ships and the layout of the ship can be sometimes quite confusing, and also it's nice to get an idea of where the venues are in relation to your cabin. So traditionally, people would use the official Virgin Voyages deck plan, which is a PDF document that you could download and have a scroll through. This was never particularly easy to use, and it meant that you'd have to search your cabin number to find information about it, or scroll up and down from different decks, or maybe even printing things out to see if there was a noisy venue close to your cabin. Well, luckily, we've just released a tool that's going to make this so much easier for you. This exclusive tool lives on the VV Insider website, and this is available for all 4 Virgin Voyages Lady ships. The tool is so easy to use, you're able to control it just like you would with Google Maps. You can zoom in and out, and you can change the ship and the deck that you're on to make those side-by-side comparisons without having to scroll around. And what's more, if you want to learn more about a cabin or a venue, you simply need to go ahead and tap on it or click on it, and you can find all the information that you need with that incredible VV Insider content behind it. This is particularly useful with the cabin lookup tool, which is our signature cabin database that tells you exactly what you'll need to know about your Virgin Voyages cabin before you head on board. Well, now it's even better, because if you're on a cabin, you can scroll down and see exactly where that cabin is located in this new deck plan tool. This is particularly useful if you want to see what's above or below your particular room. This can help you work out if things are going to be noisy, or if you're closer to a venue that you like to frequent. So if you're someone who likes to get up early and head to the gym, you might want to check to see what's on deck 15 above your cabin. Using the tool, you can click on particular cabins to learn more about them. And if you want to read all that incredible information that VV Insider has about this cabin, you simply click on more details and it takes you directly to that cabin page. This is something that I personally built myself, and I truly believe that this is a much easier experience than whatever's been out there in the past. And because we want these tools and the content and these videos to help sailors around the world, we've made this available free for everyone to use at vvinsider.com. Now, a bit of news for those that are fans of true crime podcasts. This is a collaboration between Virgin Voyages and iHeartRadio. And the previous true crime podcast cruise went ahead back in 2025, and it received such incredible feedback that Virgin Voyages are bringing it back again for 2027. What you'll expect to see on board are some very special guests from the iHeartRadio podcast network, and you'll see live recordings of podcast episodes while you're on the ship. There'll also be exclusive meet and greet opportunities with the producers and the casts behind the podcast. There also promises to be immersive and uniquely themed events on board this voyage too. The headline podcasts for this voyage are Disgraced Land, Buried Bones, and Wisecrack. If you're a fan of those podcasts or similar, you'll be heading on this 5-night voyage out of Miami, which we'll be calling at Grand Turk and Bimini. This very special true crime podcast is due to sail on March 20th. If you're already booked on this voyage and you're not so interested in the podcast side of things, don't worry, because the signature Virgin Voyages entertainment and experiences will still be offered during this voyage. This is simply an extra for those that want to take part. If you're looking for availability and pricing, you can find it over on an article on vvinsider.com, and we're offering $50 of extra sailor loot as long as you book a limited sea terrace or above. Speaking of sailor loot and saving money, just a couple of weeks ago, we released a video explaining exactly how you can sail on Virgin Voyages without spending an additional penny when you're on board. And there's a tip in there of how you can take money off the ship and actually get paid to sail effectively. There's a few tips and tricks involved with that, so I'm going to link that video at the end of this video so you can watch that next. But this is just a reminder to stay subscribed to this channel so you can get both those hints and tips videos and these news and updates videos as well, and you don't miss a thing. Now, some really big news when it comes to dining on board Virgin Voyages. So if you've been watching our videos or following along with our content on our website, you'll know all about booking dining with Virgin Voyages and how it's one of the big niggles when it comes to sailing on Virgin Voyages. Because there is no main dining room, you're not guaranteed to be dining in a restaurant every night unless you go ahead and book it yourself. Now, because the restaurants are so unique and so popular, you do run the chance of not being able to get the reservation that you really want and having to maybe go in a standby line. Well, this in the past meant that you had to go to a restaurant and ask if there was any standby availability. If there was, you would have to make your way back to the restaurant at a particular time and queue up for your table. This is about to all change because Virgin Voyages have announced the introduction of a virtual queuing system, which is going to be powered by the Virgin Voyages app. This means instead of having to go to the restaurant and pleading your case, all you need to do now is go onto the app and make a request to the restaurant that you're looking for. You'll then be entered into a virtual queue and you'll be told when a table is available. Here's a preview of what this might look like in practice, so you can see listed against Extra Virgin and the Wake that you're able to join the wait list for a table. But take a look at this example where the test kitchen has no availability even for the wait list, so they're still encouraging you to head to the restaurant for walk-in availability. So it looks like this is going to be a bit of a hybrid approach to this system. When this was initially announced, it was available on Scarlet Lady. Now, in theory, by now, every ship should have this in place, but we'll be taking a look and making sure that the rollout goes to plan. So make sure that you stay subscribed to this channel so we can let you know exactly how that trial goes. If you've been following along, you'll know that this is another shake-up in the way that dining works, because just recently they've also announced the availability of shared tables, where instead of just booking private tables, you're able to optionally choose to dine on a shared table, which may give you more availability. Now, these two things should hopefully marry up to allow a lot more Virgin Voyages sailors to use the available space in the restaurants. We've heard a lot of feedback from the community, and often dining availability is one of the gripes that a lot of sailors have. So it'll be interesting to see if these changes with the way that dining works really solves that problem for many sailors. So if you know anything about VV Insider, you'll know that the tools and the content on our website is generally about saving you money when you sail. So I know that you lot love a freebie. Well, I'm happy to tell you we've got a fun giveaway going on at the minute. So if you'd like to earn yourself 2 very fun gifts, I'm going to show you exactly what they are. So the things that we're giving away are these. So these are limited edition shot glasses that are designed in the theme of 2 bars on board the Virgin Voyages ships. They are available on the ships, so if you head on board, you can get these if you want. So first of all, we have the Athletic Club bar. So you can see this is kind of a boxing glove. which I suppose is in theme with the training camp. So they have a boxing ring and a boxing bag. Is it a boxing bag? Not a boxing bag, a punching bag. And then you have the loose cannon. And this is very cool. This is a cannon, as you can see. So I guess the idea is that the shot glass is turned up that way. It is very cool. I will say when you order the beverage that goes with these, when you go on the ship, they don't necessarily put it inside of these. They just give you this on the side, which is why we have these available. So we have 3 sets of these, 3 complete sets. So there will be 3 winners to this giveaway. So if you'd like to take part in this giveaway, then head over to vvinsider.com/giveaway. All the information that you'll need to know to apply to the giveaway is in there, and all the terms and conditions that you'll need to read as well. We'll have 3 very lucky winners, and don't tell Rob this part, but I'm going to see if we can get you one of these fantastic pin badges with the VV Insider logo in there as well. But I can't make any promises because they're very limited edition. Well, something that's been keeping us very busy indeed here at VV Insider HQ has been the release of the 2028 summer itineraries in Europe. So these are both sailings out of Barcelona and Athens on Scarlet Lady and Valiant Lady. Now we've got completely to the bottom of our wait list with all the people that had signed up to get pre-release access to these particular sailings. And trust me when I say the Rockstar and the Mega Rockstar categories are going really, really quick on those itineraries, not least because the pricing's pretty good on most of those itineraries. But there is still really good availability. Obviously, we're talking a couple of years out already, but if you're a planner and you'd like to get things booked into your diary, head over to vvinsider.com/book and you can browse all of those new European itineraries. You'll notice that there's a very suspicious gap for Valiant Lady between July and September. Well, it was a bit of a VV Insider exclusive when we saw the port schedules for Amsterdam was showing Resilient Lady. And we know in 2028, Resilient Lady is actually going to be all the way over in the Caribbean. But we did some digging and found these scheduled stops in Amsterdam lined up perfectly with Valiant Lady's departure from Barcelona between July and September. So we deduced that Amsterdam is going to be the new home port for Valiant Lady in 2028, which is really, really interesting because it means that it gives her access to much more interesting itineraries in Northern Europe. And this will be a real first for Virgin Voyages as well. Well, our suspicions were confirmed this week, and it has been announced that Valiant Lady will indeed be making these calls in Northern Europe to these Nordic destinations and the Arctic Circle. This sounds really, really interesting, and it's more in line with the programming that we're seeing this year, where Valiant Lady is going all the way up to Iceland and over into Greenland later this year. Well, we know for a fact that those sailings are very popular indeed, so this is obviously one of the reasons why Virgin Voyages have decided to make those Nordic stops in 2028. There are a total of 6 different sailings either to or out of Amsterdam. First of all, there's a 10-night repositioning from Barcelona to Amsterdam, and this is kicking off on July 9th. This means that Valiant Lady will be making her way into her new home port for the next few weeks, which will be on July 19th, 2028. From there, she will be making 4 very, very special voyages. There's a 12-night, 2 7-night, and then finishing off with an 11-night. Those longer sailings, the 12-night, take you all the way up to the top of Norway, where you can explore the Arctic Circle on board Virgin Voyages. This is going to be a really unique chance to experience that midnight sun on board Valiant Lady. Now, because these Northern Europe itineraries are going to be so unique, and there's only 4 of them, we're expecting cabin availability to go so quickly, especially for those cabin categories where there's only a handful of cabins in each, including the Mega Rockstar and Rockstar categories. So if you're looking to pre-register so we can grab those cabins for you as quickly as possible when booking opens, make sure that you head over to vvinsider.com/waitlist, and we'll make sure your information is logged in our system, and we'll get in touch straight away as soon as those release. We're expecting to get more information about these itineraries over the coming days, so if you're looking for more information on that, either stay subscribed to this YouTube channel, or you can sign up to our email newsletter over at vvinsider.com. As this video releases, we will be on board Brilliant Lady heading to Alaska, where we're really looking forward to experiencing those new Alaskan happenings events and exploring the ports in Alaska as well. Well, I'm going to be capturing some footage from that very special voyage and of course bringing that to you here on this YouTube channel, but I'm also going to be capturing a little bit more of an unfiltered view of that voyage as well, which I'm going to make exclusively available in our hidden series, which is exclusively for our YouTube members. Those YouTube members on the Rockstar or the Mega Rockstar level will have access to that hidden series, where already I've given you a little recount of our experience with Off the Record on Valiant Lady. I've also shown you how to find some hidden and secret cabins on board the ships as well. And I've told you about the story of how VV Insider got started, all the way from having an idea when we were walking the dog to meeting Richard Branson last year on board Brilliant Lady during a launch season. So already there's a few little hidden videos out there. If you're looking to join our lovely community of Virgin Voyages fans over there, then I'm going to put the information that you need on screen now and also link it in the comments below. But I just want to thank those that have already pledged their support to us by becoming a YouTube member. The support that you give us for building these free tools and getting this free content out for everyone is really, really important to us. So thank you so much for being supportive of all the work that goes into this. Well, it looks like August is shaping up to be an incredibly exciting month when it comes to Virgin Voyages across the whole fleet. So I'm looking forward to see what happens next. But thank you so much for coming along today. And until I see you next time, happy sailing.